nutrition and food supplying system. So in this slideshow, at the end of this video, you are going to learn about food preparation in plants, equation of photosynthesis, briefing about the structure of a chloroplast. So before going to that, we need to learn about what is nutrition. What is nutrition? So before going to learn about photosynthesis process, we need to learn about what is nutrition. Nutrition is nothing but a process of providing or obtaining food necessary for health and growth. So food is needed by all living organisms, mainly for growth and repair. So nutrients, if we get that nutrients from the plant or food, we obtain that food to produce energy to do our daily activities. Before going to learn about photosynthesis, we need to learn the definition of the photosynthesis. Definition for the photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is a chemical process of a plant which can use CO2 and water to make glucose by using chlorophyll pigment in the presence of sunlight. So see, plant uses external factors like carbon dioxide from the atmosphere and obtaining or absorbing water from the ground to make the glucose by using a chlorophyll pigment. So plant having this chlorophyll pigment, and this pigment or this chlorophyll is responsible to trap the sunlight. So in this process, oxygen is a waste product that is released into the atmosphere. So see the picture, you can identify different external factors like CO2 and water and producing oxygen by the plant, and there is a chlorophyll pigment in that plant, and it is receiving the sunlight. It is an energy source to drive this photosynthesis. After learning the definition for photosynthesis, we need to discuss about equation of the photosynthesis. A scientist named Van Niel contributed his service or his efforts to make us understand this process easily. So he proposed an equation for the photosynthesis. So plant absorbs CO2 from the atmosphere and it absorbs water from the ground in the presence of light by using chlorophyll. It producing CH2O, which means a sugar compound or a carbohydrate compound, plus water, and it releases oxygen. So when we going to his proposed theory or equation, he proposed that for each molecule of carbohydrate formed, one molecule of water and one molecule of oxygen is produced. He said that for every molecule of carbohydrate which is formed in the plant, it going to form same amount of water and oxygen. See here, 6 molecules of carbon dioxide and 12 molecules of water, which combines C6H12O6, a glucose molecule, and 6 molecules of water and 6 molecules of oxygen was released. So this is the process how photosynthesis occur in plants. First step, the plant draws up water through its roots. We know that plant absorbs water from the ground through roots, and the leaves take in CO2 from the air. So the leaves which are present in the plant can get air from the CO2 from the air. The leaves trap energy from the sunlight. So the leaves which are present on the plant body receive sunlight. Next, the plant uses the energy of sunlight to run water and CO2 into sugars and oxygen. So we have already made clear this. Next one, the plant releases oxygen into the air. After completion of this process, it releases oxygen into the atmosphere. The plant uses the sugars for growth. So finally, the compound which are formed in the plant by the process of photosynthesis are absorbed by the organisms for to utilize to produce the energy for their daily activities. So here the light energy converts into chemical energy. Students, you may wonder how this complex mechanism will take place in the plant. So we need to learn about what are the special qualities adapted by the plant cell. In the plant cell, animal cell, we learned these differences between plant cell, animal cell in the 9th class. So let us recall that topic again to differentiate what the plant cell consists and what the animal cell consists of. So plant cell consists chloroplasts. So chloroplasts are the organelle present in the plants. So chloroplasts are responsible to trap or to receive the sunlight and produce the glucose. After learning the definition for photosynthesis and equation for the photosynthesis, we need to learn about the location of the photosynthesis. So we need to learn about the location of the photosynthesis in the plant. So in 1883, Julian von Sachs observed that chlorophyll present in the organelles within the cell, and later named as a chloroplast. So in that year, this scientist observed chlorophyll present in this organelle. This organelle is known as chloroplast. These chloroplasts can be seen 4200 in the cells and ground tissue of the plants. So after learning these all aspects in the photosynthesis, we need to learn about the location of the photosynthesis, where it taken place in a plant. So leaf is responsible for the location of photosynthesis, location for the occurrence of photosynthesis. In the leaf, we need to take a transverse section of the leaf to understand easily how these mechanism taken place in the plant cells. So transverse section means we need to cut like this, and this is called as TS of leaf. TS of leaf. TS of leaf. If we take a transverse section of leaf, the leaf can appear like this. So upper part is covered by a layer is called as cuticle. After that, a line of cells called as upper epidermis, and the bottom same epidermis will appear, that is called as lower epidermis. In the middle, the mesophyll layer, mesophyll tissue is called as this ground tissue or middle tissue called as mesophyll. So in this mesophyll, there is two types of parenchyma, palisade parenchyma and spongy parenchyma. So if we see in the middle of the midrib of the leaf, we can observe xylem and phloem. So first one, cuticle. Cuticle is the protective layer which protects damages from the external side or external damages, and the upper epidermis and lower epidermis are the factors which protecting the leaf. Next, palisade parenchyma, a rod-shaped cells which are seen in this TS of leaf are having very high amount of chloroplasts. So that is the main reason of occurring photosynthesis in a great manner to facilitate the production of glucose. And bottom lines or bottom tissue or spongy parenchyma is the cells can be seen with irregular or intracellular spaces, and air spaces are called as spongy parenchyma with having less amount of chloroplasts. And in the midrib consists xylem and phloem. You know about that xylem and phloem. Xylem is the water conducting tissue and phloem is the food conducting tissue. At the bottom of the leaf, in the lower epidermis, we can see stomata. Stomata are the responsible for gases exchange in the plant. So after reading the location of photosynthesis, so we need to learn about the site of the photosynthesis. So chloroplast is the site of the photosynthesis. If we take the chloroplast structure, it is an organelle present in the plant cell. A chloroplast is a membranous structure consisting of three membranes. We can see three membranes in the chloroplast: outer membrane, inner membrane, and inside the chloroplast we can see the thylakoid membrane. Students, in the chloroplast structure, we need to learn about the full detailed structure of the chloroplast, which is important for our examination point of view. So it consisting three membranes. First one is outer membrane and inner membrane. Between this outer membrane and inner membrane there is intermembrane space, and the aqueous fluid, the fluid like structure present in the inside of the chloroplast is called as a stroma. And the third membrane which is present in the chloroplast, it is forms a stacked sac like structures called as granum. See, there is a granum, it is formed a stacked sac like structures, and that the stacked like structures connected by a structure called as lamellae, or it is called as stroma lamellae. And in the chloroplast, each thylakoid contains chlorophyll pigments, and in that thylakoid there is a reaction taken place. We can learn that reactions in detail in the next slide. So in the chloroplast there is a DNA loop. It consists a individual DNA, and it is the act as genetic material for that chloroplast. I have already said that the third layer forms stacked sac-like structures called as granum. So it is believed to be a site of trapping of solar energy. So thylakoids consist of the chlorophyll. That chlorophyll is responsible to trap the sunlight. So the intermediate fluid filled portion is called as stroma. The colorless or the space, the matrix between the chloroplast is called as a stroma. So it is believed to be the responsible for enzymatic reaction leading to the synthesis of glucose, which in turn join together to form a starch. So stroma is the place where an enzymatic reaction is taken place for the synthesis of glucose, not in thylakoids. Okay, so keep in mind that stroma is the place where a bioreaction is taken place in the chloroplast. We need to learn about the detailed information about the chlorophyll. So which is a pigment present in the chloroplast, is responsible for photosynthesis. The name chlorophyll comes from the Greek words chloros, green, and phylon, leaf. So there are some types of chlorophylls in the plants. So we need to learn about the only two main chlorophylls are present in the plant cell. It is chlorophyll A and chlorophyll B. So substance found in chloroplast which capture sunlight are photosynthetic pigments. So these are the pigments called as photosynthetic pigments because they are the responsible for that photosynthesis. So chlorophyll is a such pigment which contains only one atom of magnesium, and hemoglobin is an iron containing red pigment that transport oxygen in blood, which is similar in structure to chlorophyll, which means the chlorophyll and hemoglobin are the pigments. They are also pigments. Both are pigments, but there is a quite a difference between those two pigments. So chlorophyll pigment is present in the plant cell, and hemoglobin is present in the animals red blood cell. So both structures are similar, but there is a small difference, quite a difference, which is consisting of elements or ions. Chlorophyll consists a magnesium atom, and hemoglobin consists an iron atom. Here you can find the both structures of chlorophyll and hemoglobin. So chlorophyll consists at the center of the structure magnesium ion, and at the center of the hemoglobin structure it consists iron. So both structures are similar, but the functions are different. Hemoglobin consists in animal cells, or in animals it is responsible pigment for the transportation of oxygen, and but the chlorophyll is the pigment present in the plant cell, is responsible for photosynthesis. While we talking about chlorophyll A and chlorophyll B, we can see the chlorophyll A in blue green in color, and chlorophyll B is yellow green in color. About around 250 to 400 chlorophyll pigments or chlorophyll molecules grouped as light harvesting complex in the granum to facilitate for the better occurrence of the photosynthesis. You can see the absorbance of chlorophyll A and chlorophyll B in this picture. So in this slideshow, I think you could learn about what is photosynthesis, definition for the photosynthesis, and equation for the photosynthesis, and the structure of the chloroplast, and what is the difference between chlorophyll and hemoglobin, and what are the materials required for the photosynthesis. So answer these all questions and refer the textbook for better understanding. Thank you, children, and we will meet in another slideshow which is going to explain about the mechanism of the photosynthesis.